We're going back in time when US 27 traveled through Michigan. Come on, let's go. Alright everyone, today we are going to be revisiting the past and we're going to be taking a look at US 27's old route through the state of Michigan. Even though US 27 currently ends at Fort Wayne, Indiana, it once did enter into Michigan and travel all the way up to US 2 in the Upper Peninsula. But sadly it was truncated down to Fort Wayne, Indiana sometime in the early 2000s. So let's get started with its old route through Michigan. If you've been enjoying my highways content or any of my other content, be sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button so you're notified of all my future highways videos. And guess what? I'm now open to extra requests. All of the future highways I'm going to be doing are listed down in the description below. So if you want any extra requests for the future highways, be sure to look down in the description and put your request down in the comment section below and I'll make sure to shout you out. Let's get started with the highway. As you can see here, this was the old route of US 27 before it truncated down here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It followed current Interstate 69 all the way up to Lansing, where it then took a turn north and followed current US 127 all the way up to Interstate 75 and beyond up to US Highway 2 before Interstate 75 was a thing. So with that, we're going to be talking about northbound old US 27. So we begin here at its current northern terminus here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, just before the Interstate 69 junction. And here's the actual Interstate 69 junction, and we're going to be joining Interstate 69 north sign for Lansing, which is a great choice by Indiana Dot. And this is on the Interstate 469 exit, the exit north of US 27. And this was back in 2011, way after US 27 was deleted from Michigan, and they still have US 27 shields here. Sadly, it was replaced a couple of years later, and this is what it looks like currently today. In our first mileage sign on Interstate 69, we have Lansing on the bottom line at 120 miles away. And we're here meeting US Highway 20, which is signed for LaGrange and Nagoya. I'll have my fair deal of US 20 when I get to it in May, but I don't know about these control cities right now. Now we're meeting the Indiana Toll Road, which is signed for Chicago and Toledo, which is great choices. And here we're actually entering into Michigan. We're meeting US 12 13 miles into the state, and US 12 does not get so good control cities. One, we're already in Coldwater, so why is Coldwater signed? And two, Quincy is just the next town over. For the control cities for US 12, there should be eastbound for Ypsilanti and westbound for Sturgis, not Quincy and Coldwater. And a little bit up the road, we're now meeting Interstate 94, which gets the great control cities of Detroit and Chicago, while we're still signed north for Lansing. Now we're meeting Interstate 96 in the Lansing area, and 69 and 96 have a palindrome concurrency as we head northwest towards Grand Rapids and Lansing. Here is Interstate 496, which takes you to downtown Lansing. And now Interstate 69 is splitting off from Interstate 96, and 69 is now signed east for Flint. And this is where old US 27 would split off from Interstate 69 to head north towards Clare. Honestly, I don't think Clare is a good choice. One, it's because where you meet US 10, and I know US 10 is a major route, but if that's the only reason why you're signing it, then yeah, it should not be a control city. Honestly, old US 27 should have been signed north for Mount Pleasant, because Mount Pleasant is like 5 times bigger than Clare, and it's also home to Central Michigan University. And at random junctions here on current US 127, we're signed for Lansing and Clare. Lansing is a good choice for southbound US 127 or old US 27. And like I said before, it should be Mount Pleasant for old US 27 north. And Mount Pleasant is on a bottom line mileage sign at 49 miles away. And this is where old US 27 business would have went into downtown Mount Pleasant, while current US 127 is now signed north for the Mackinac Bridge. Honestly, if they're not signing Claire from here, then why is it signed at the Interstate 69 junction? I don't know. Now we're meeting US Highway 10 here in Claire, and we're still signing north for the Mackinac Bridge. Now here is US 10 splitting off from current US 127, and we're still signed north for the Mackinac Bridge. And I'd say about 60 or 70 miles up the road, we are merging into Interstate 75, and we have a nice end shield for US 127, or old US 27. Like I said, US 27 actually continued north of here up to the Upper Peninsula and ended at US Highway 2, but when Interstate 75 was created, it was truncated down to just at this exit here. So we're going to end here and turn around and do southbound old US 27. So we begin here on Interstate 75, and it's signed south for Saginaw and Detroit, which are good choices. And current US 127 is signed south for Clare and Lansing. Honestly, that should be Mount Pleasant and Lansing. And this is our first exit on current US 127, or old US 27 south. And it's signed for Military Road. And it's 206 miles? How long is US 127 in Michigan? And it's 40 miles down the road, we're meeting US 10 once again, and US 10 and US 127 have a short concurrency around the town of Clare. And here's where US 10 splits off from US 127, and are now signed south for Mount Pleasant and Lansing, which are great choices. And I skipped all the way down to the Lansing area, and we're going to be joining Interstate 69, which is signed to Interstate 96 for Grand Rapids and Flint. And now we're meeting Interstate 96, and 96 and 69 have a short concurrency as we bypass the city of Lansing. Here is where Interstate 69, old US 27, was split off from Interstate 96, and we're signed south for Charlotte and Fort Wayne. And here are me Interstate 94 once again, and old 27 and Interstate 69 is still signed south for Fort Wayne. And here is US 12 once again, and it gets the control cities as it did as we were heading northbound on old US 27. And shortly after, we're entering into the state of Indiana. And our first major exit in Indiana is the Indiana Toll Road, which is signed for Chicago and Toledo. And now we're meeting Interstate 469 up here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we just get 69 south and US 30 west. Now we're meeting the current northern terminus of US 27, and US 27 is signed south for Lima Road. Why Indiana? Why are you doing this? That should be a control city for US 27 south, not the name of the road. No one cares about the name of the road unless if they're a local of Fort Wayne. That should be some sort of city for South 27. I hate it when states do that. Anyways, that ends our old US 27, and we're going to be moving on to all of the places I'll go. So these are the places that I'd visit if I was ever on the old route of US 27, or current Interstate 69, 96, and US 127. These are all the places I'd visit if I was ever on old US 27. So I'd visit downtown Fort Wayne, and then the Welcome Center in Michigan off of Interstate 69, and then the town of Charlotte, Michigan, and then the city of Lansing in downtown Michigan. And I actually like to visit the town of Mount Pleasant and the town of Clare, and finally the town of Grayling in Michigan. And that ends old US 27. Thank y'all so much for watching this video about US 27 and its old route through the state of Michigan. I hope you guys had a lot of fun learning about its route through Michigan, and I hope to make more of these videos in the near future. But for now, my next few highways include the Super 200 westbound, and after that I'm going to be taking a short break to work on the US 20 marathon for May, and once US 20 is all done and finished, I'm going to be moving on to US Highway 421. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.